Frieren is the main character. She's an elf. It's set in a fantasy world.
But not an isekai.
Not an isekai.
No,
Yay!
I'm
We
so
did it again.
relieved.
Original stories.
What? A fantasy, not an
Yay.
isekai? What the fuck? Well, hello, and welcome back to Gateway to Anime. How are you all? What's going on? Charlie, what's up?
Not much, just excited to talk about some fresh new anime because I think I'm pretty done with this season.
Pretty done with this season.
Pretty done with it. I'm like, all right, thanks. You've been here long enough, a whole season's worth. Get out of here now.
Get out of here.
Time for the new kids in town.
That's it. Out
Don't
with
know
the
why I said
old, in with the nucleus.
The nucleus.
How are you, Greg?
Yeah, good. Also done with the season. Yeah, looking forward to all the new stuff as, the wheel turns.
Absolutely. So, as you would have read from the episode titles and from what Graham and Charlie just said, we are, of course, doing our annual roundup. So, this is the summer 2023 roundup, which we'll breeze through pretty quickly because we've done 2 episodes on this already. We'll breeze through it. And then, we'll move on to the fall 2023 anime season hype up. So, of course, we are the podcast where we throw open the gates to anime for those who are either old, new, returning, ever wanted to get into anime, didn't know where to start. Well, ideally, we're the podcast for you. But if you're also a fan, a heavy fan like we are, we're always here to talk about things and
Heavy
develop
fans.
debates. Heavy fans. I'd class us as heavy fans.
We have a fucking podcast about
We have
it. I think.
we have an anime podcast.
I like to
We're on the
pretend
heavy
I'm
side.
casual, but no.
No.
Episode 754.
Tragic
Yeah, pretty
nerds
casual.
right here. But no, and of course, the idea always is to, liken things to Western media as well so that we can always kind of be like, hey, if you aren't really into this or if you just sort of wanting to dip your toe in, we can guide you down the path. Try and avoid some of the pitfalls, which anime has many, many of. But, of course, we are talking this time about the season that just was and the season that will be. So let's just quickly go through and talk about what are the shows that you really ended up enjoying, what did you finish, and then what did you drop? Gray, what was your pick of the season?
Probably is going to be Zone 100.
Good call.
Like, that was a delight. Like, wholesome, but, splicing some zombies, which were not really scary. Well, the shark was pretty scary. If you haven't watched, there's a zombie shark. Awesome.
Yeah, it was wild.
But it was fun and kind of like uplifting and motivating and talking about, take back your life, throw off the shackles of, jobs and
Capitalism.
stuff. Yeah, that whole sort of vibe. So, yeah, I loved it. Like, the animation was bright and fun. Yeah.
Yeah, still
not to love?
going as we speak. It had some pretty serious production issues. It's a brand new anime production house or production studio. And yeah, they have had quite a few hiatuses where they've had to stop for a couple of weeks or a week at a time every now and then to finish it. But like, hasn't bothered me because it's been pretty, it's slightly patchy in the animation,
That first episode, they just threw all the money at the screen.
Yeah, it
Out of
looked
control.
that first episode was
Yeah.
one of my favorite pilot episodes of any anime ever. I thought it was incredible.
Outstanding.
So strong.
unattainable to hit those heights consistently.
Yeah.
But at the same time, story's great. It's really interesting. The new characters, at the time of recording this podcast, the new characters been in for a couple of episodes now.
Beatrix,
Yes.
who every time I watch, I just think of you, just like crying while eating sushi and stuff in Japan.
I think Zone 100 has been fantastic. Absolutely agree with you. Brilliant. Gerald Lillywhite, who of course been on this podcast many times, has texted me a numerous amount of times this season being like, Zone 100, absolutely love it. My favorite of the season, blah, blah, blah.
Gets the Gerald Lillywhite seal of approval.
Gets the seal, gets the Graham Aitken seal of approval and the Gerald Lillywhite. Charlie,
Do you
still
reckon
watching
one day we'll be able to be free of the Gerald Lillywhite seal of approval?
I don't think so. I think it should be like the gold standard.
It's the gold standard, I'm pretty sure.
If we ever do the anime awards, we need to bring out the
Gerald Lillywhite
Gerald
gold
Lillywhite
seal of
award.
approval.
I live in fear of him disliking something I love. I'm just like, no, Gerald, no.
You were the chosen one.
Luckily, he loves everything I send him. So, yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Charlie, your pick of the season.
My marriage story. No.
Really?
Why did I say it again? My happy marriage.
Your Adam Driver.
Adam Driver anime.
Fucking ScarJo crying in anime form, like
watch it.
screaming at each other.
watch
Yeah,
it.
sounds good. No, it is My Happy Marriage. I have just been so thrilled to see the support that's been thrown behind this anime. Just got greenlit for season 2. very excited. I think it really surprised a lot of people because I think that when you look at the cover, when you look at the title, you're kind of like, this was like a fluffy little romance thing, and actually it was dealing with like deeper emotions. It has like quite a intricate power magic system in there. There's like family ties and wars and like, a lot of like family politics going on. It's historical fiction, very much so fiction. There's a magic system in there. So, I mean, not that magic isn't real. I don't know. I'm going to get cancelled for that.
That garbage
your
out
card?
of this podcast.
But I think that it really surprised a lot of people with just how well it's been done and how much it's been a character study and just really great relationship between the two main leads and dealing with trauma. And it's giving me like the same feeling that Fruits Basket gave me in terms of like this show. It's a little less hard to get. Like, it's a little more obviously serious than Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket, you have to really navigate quite quickly. Like, you're like, oh my God, like there's animals and there's like comedy. This is less of a comedy. It's not in a comedy at all. But I think it has that thing where it has a sense of like foreboding doom at the start. And I think it plays into that really well. And it's really wholesome, and I'm really happy when they're happy and they have a happy marriage. And good for them. So far, so good. I've just been, thrilled with, and as I've said, and I will say it again, I'm going to say it like 5 times even on this podcast, just seeing a like shoujo-sai kind of narrative, even though it's like a seinen kind of vibe, treated with such like, care and high quality of animation as say a shonen is awesome, because there's so many good manga, light novels, visual novels that deserve to be adapted, and this one just goes to show that you can have a popular one. So it's a bit of a win for the old gals over here, and then she, he's, theys, thems, whatever.
Win for the girlies?
Win for whatever. Like seriously, because it's good to see, and this is for everyone. It's a good show. So that's my pick of the season.
Right
Yeah,
on.
right.
Okay, very good, very good.
Sam?
I would have probably agreed with Zon 100, but
Yeah.
to be different, I'm going to be a basic bitch and go Jujutsu Kaisen because it's been great. I mean, at the time of recording, something very significant in the story has just happened, and for those who are manga readers, some even more significant things has happened. But again, we're not going to go into that because that's big spoiler territory. But let's just say I haven't seen the manga community this irate and hysterical since Attack on Titan finished.
To be fair, it's normally just your hysterics. I see. So,
Yeah.
I didn't read the manga. I was just like, obviously it's a big deal, but I was just like, Gigi Akutami's been getting death threats. It's a whole thing. It's like, it's out of control.
That's
like,
how you know you've made it, though, right?
That's when you know you've done it. You've done
like,
something.
Did good.
So yeah, but also, we weren't talking to the manga. That's for a different.
we can spoil the
conversation.
anime. We can spoil a little bit of the anime.
All right.
Oh, the anime we
I
can
think
look.
we could-
The anime. Okay.
Put a big
Stop
spoiler on them.
listening
Okay. If you haven't watched
for like
any-
maybe
yeah.
next minute.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, anime spoiler only, not manga, starting now. Gojo Satoru has been sealed, and it is pretty epic leading up to that. Again, we just had Seamus on recently to talk exclusively about Jujutsu Kaisen, and I don't know, I do mention before, it's like, hey, look, it's Gojo, and he's doing stuff, and now I'm like, Gojo's not going to do any stuff, for ages, and I'm like,
I'm done.
Oh man, what I want him to do, half the reason I watch is because he does cool stuff, so I'm like, I don't know.
Is there a spin-off series of him just in the prison? Because I'm here
sitting
for
there.
it.
Just dancing.
Yeah, honestly,
he's dancing.
I'd watch it.
I'd also watch it.
If we get better ratings than Jujutsu Kaisen,
would.
I'd be like,
That being said, it has been a slow start. Spoilers finished now. It's been a slow start to this season, I will say, though.
Are we talking about the prequel?
Okay, no. So
Because
obviously-
that was...
that's a part of this season.
yeah, it's a part of the season.
yeah.
So no, okay, sorry.
We've talked too much about this.
We have.
So
Anyway, the
too long
restart has
didn't
been
read.
good. Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen,
We have like
I've been really
10
enjoying
episodes.
it. Yeah.
At this point, we're a gateway to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah,
like,
that's
we
basically what we
honestly
are. We're a
own-
Jujutsu
and
Kaisen
there's
show.
a reason for that. It's really great.
It's really good. Anyway,
go back and
enough
listen.
said. We've said this in many other podcasts many times. Really enjoyed Jujutsu Kaisen. Any honorable mentions or any epic fails? Anything that turned up you started interested in and then fell away on?
I couldn't finish
My life is a vending machine.
I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
I dropped
Yeah.
it. I dropped a lot of shows this season.
Yeah.
And I felt bad about it. But then I didn't feel that bad about it. Because you know what? Like,
They keep
there's
coming.
just so many.
They never end.
So I think to me that was Disappointments on 100 continues to be good for me. I'm behind, but I'm still watching it. I like it. Yeah, I don't know. How was Bleach?
Good.
Oh.
Good. Also, the
I'll
other
get there
one.
one day.
Also,
One day.
the other one I would say potentially is anime of the season for me. Bleach. It's
Yeah, look, at Bleach, I think it's just over there.
doing its thing.
It's on an elevated position.
It's
Like,
bloody great. Did you watch any Mushoku Tensei this season?
I watched the first 3 episodes.
Okay, and then something horrible happened and you dropped it?
Yes.
Who would have thought?
Pattern continues.
Who would have thought?
What tier was this season as a whole for you?
Oh, there was a lot going on, but I'm going to give it like a B minus maybe. Because you got your Jujutsu Kaisens, you got Bleach, which, I mean, you could argue both of them haven't been firing at their top cylinders. Like, I mean, the latest episode of Bleach at the time of recording, they did just do, because obviously I've read the manga because I couldn't handle not being able to finish it 10 years ago when it stopped being an anime. And they did just add a whole new fight to
The zombie squad one.
that. But there's another one, I don't know if you're up to date. Oh, it's
With
in
Squad
Maya.
Zero?
Yeah,
Is there
yeah.
a zombie shark in
Yeah,
there
because
too?
normally it goes skips that and goes straight to
Bald.
Mate with the
To
giant
Hijiri.
paintbrush, which is that's gonna be
Also a
hype.
great fight.
That's gonna be
But
hype.
like the fact that it actually got Nemaya to fight on screen,
Yeah.
it was sick. And I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God they're actually doing the thing where like they're doing an anime adaptation and fixing some of the mistakes of the manga.
Yeah.
Now, the writing is problematic, not problematic in word that word's normally used, but it's the writing in this final
Questionable.
arc is shit in many ways. You know, it's just a bunch of fights that happen and you kind of like, after a
Yeah,
while,
but there's so much cool stuff though.
this is the thing.
Like
This is the
Rukia's
thing.
Bankai, like
Yeah, there's some cool shit.
There's so much good stuff.
There's some cool shit that happens, and like I said, they're adding things in,
Yeah.
which are actually really cool and have fleshed out some of the things which were ignored because Bleach was rushed, and this is a fact because he was told to finish it much earlier than he had anticipated, so he had to wind it up real quick. Is when the manga was being published. So this has been pretty cool. So yeah, Bleach, Jujutsu Kaisen, your big heavy hitters. I mean, for those who are into that shit, Mushoku Tensei, they're your big heavy hitters. Then you got your Zom 100s underneath that. I really enjoyed the Masterful Cat is Depressed Again today. I kept watching it. It's like, I'm not normally a slice of life guy, but you throw in a like humanoid cat, you got me. You got me.
Yeah.
And it's quite a nice show. It's really nice. It's very meditative. It's very chill. It's very interesting looking in a woman's perspective of modern Japanese society and sort of like the fact that she's kind of not ridiculed, but ostracized, not even ostracized, but I
So
mean,
none of that, I guess.
Not ridiculed or
no,
ostracized.
she's
that.
judged. She's judged
Judged?
pejoratively for being single. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And it's sort of
yeah.
like, but then the cat fills the space, but it's also a beautiful examination on how humans actually interact with cats and how
are
important
ignored.
they can actually be in your life. Now, obviously, we all wish our cats could be giant and cook us dinner and lunch
I
every
don't
day.
want my cat to be giant.
Yeah.
What about cooking dinner though?
What about cooking dinner? It cook it badly
Yeah,
though.
she'd
Cats who would just
suck.
burn the house
She
down.
would suck. She'd be like, because me and my cat, we're the same. So there'd just be 2 of us. And I don't have the time or energy for that.
The world has got no
But,
time for this.
That's too many people.
That's too
many
Charlies. That's we're moving on.
So
This is a
done.
nightmare.
Is there
I,
anything else this year?
I want to say though, it's not an anime, but my biggest surprise of this season was the live action One Piece. Really good.
Yeah, look, I think it was fantastic. Really big surprise for us. And, long may it continue. Good
Hell
stuff.
yeah. You can tell that a fan was the showrunner and that's
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
And he
And
did
they
fucking
really
good
knew their
job.
source material. And also the fact that Oda, also
was,
demanded
yeah.
that they refilm some things when he got the right. Whereas like Shinichiro Watanabe was not involved, despite the media being like, he's really involved. He's an executive producer. So they obviously just parked a bunch of money out the front of his house, and that
Yeah.
was the end of it. Link Click, I really enjoyed. The ending, I will, without spoiling anything, found it a bit disappointing. It fell off a bit towards the end. I will say Link Click Season 2. Still good. Really enjoyed it and would suggest it, but like some issues in the ending for me personally, but I can go further into that another time. But yeah, Link Click, a big solid for the season for me. Again, a bit of Chinese animation, which I'm finding really interesting. Want to look a little bit more into. If that's anything else, we should move on to.
I don't think there was anything else.
Yeah, and that was
Not really. It didn't end up being a huge hit for me. And I
Yeah.
dropped a lot of
What
the
would you
things.
give it? C? C
Yeah,
plus?
I mean, I would give My Happy Marriage like an A,
Mm-hmm.
but I would give this whole season for me, probably a C plus.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm B minus. So
Although I like, what am I talking about? I fucking love you. Oh yeah, it's a B minus. Yeah, I love
I think
Jujutsu
B
Kaisen.
minus is probably.
What am I
pretty
fucking
fair.
talking
I'll
about?
give it a B.
Yeah, big
go
minus. I think we're around there. So it's solid.
Such a suck up to this anime season.
I think Bleach did a lot of work for me this year.
Right.
Bleach
right.
did heavy lifting.
Okay,
Really lifted it.
fine.
Yeah.
Like
I'll watch
nostalgia
it.
was flowing.
Nostalgia, y'all.
You know, I got to see a vending machine come to life. Like, what else do you need?
You know what? That's true.
That is true.
That
And a
question.
cat cooks dinner.
Yeah.
Come on,
Look,
man.
a lot did happen.
I love lots of things going on.
Speaking of a lot going on, I am so excited for the fall season of 2023.
Let's hype it up.
Genuinely have been looking at the list and going, there's a couple of returning heavy hitters that we're all going to talk about, of course. A couple of things that I have been looking forward to being adapted for a while. A couple of things that I think probably should never have been adapted and look like absolute trash fires. Big yikes for a bunch of these titles, but that's always kind of fun to talk about.
Always the case.
So without further ado,
Adieu.
Adieu. Who wants to start? Charlie, it sounds like you want to start because you've obviously done some research for
let's start.
once.
Get out of my life. Okay, let's start with one that I think is going to be incredible. One that is actually not airing, it's airing at the end of October. This is an adaptation of a legendary manga. This is, of course, Pluto. If you want to know more about this anime, if you like what I'm talking about here, we have got a video essay on it actually on our channel. Check it out. It's really great. We dive into how it was created, what it's about, a bit more in there. So if you're into it, please check that out. There'll be a link in the bio. This is adapted from the Pluto manga written by Naoki Urasawa and Akashi Nagasaki. It's based on the Astro Boy comics or character by obviously the legendary Osamu Tezuka. This is a plot. Famous for his military service in the 39th Asian War, the legendary Swiss robot Mont Blanc is violently murdered. Humans and robots around the world mourn for the beloved celebrity. Mont Blanc's popularity only grew in the years following the war, thanks to his dedication to nature, conservation, and his loving personality. Once a fellow war veteran, robotic Europol Detective Geisch is sent to investigate Mont Blanc's tragic demise. In his pursuit, Geisch uncovers evidence of a mysterious entity known only as Pluto. He also learns of a conspiratorial plot to dismantle the 8 specialized robots from around the world who participated in the war. Racing against time to save those who still remain, Geist grapples with his memory, morality, and a world full of hate, desperately attempting to defend the fragile coexistence of man and machine. It's a hugely famous manga, and Naoki Urasawa is famous for obviously being the mangaka of Monster and 20th Century Boys and other incredible works that have all, Monster's one of our favorite animes. It's been adapted and stuff. The trailers dropped for this. It looks fantastic. Who was animating it again?
M2, Studio M2, which is, of course, the founder of Madhouse and Mappa. Murayama has gone and started a 3rd studio now. And he worked with Naoki Urasawa on Monster at Madhouse exclusively. He did so much work with him and wanted to do more, but things obviously got complicated, obviously moved studios. But yeah, M2 has been made, and this was the first thing that he would do. So I think Tezuka Productions are co-producing, but M2, their first ever show, Murayama's first work in a new studio. I'm excited. And it's a Netflix special,
yeah, it's
right?
going to come out the end of October. And out of all of the anime this year, that one's the top of my list. And the manga is incredible. Like the art style, everything about it. Yeah. Taking the Astro Boy story and turning it into this, it's pretty it's genius. It's gonna I hope that it does it justice, and I think it will. So Pluto's top of my list. Sam, what's top of your list?
Well, I've got an interesting one, and this looks interesting. This is called Undead Unluck. And this is by David Productions, who are famous for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Fire Force, unfortunately, and Cells at Work.
Unfortunately, what?
Fire Force is pretty bad.
Production though is
it looks good.
It looks good. And Cells at Work also looks fantastic.
Also an excellent looking show. So David Productions are actually really, really
great. And JoJo's
great.
obviously
famously excellent looking anime.
So David did well.
David did good. It's just the Fire Force sucks.
The name David Productions makes
it's such a it's like David.
And David.
David.
Ew, David.
Ew, David. But yep, David makes some good looking shit. So it's a sort of comedy shonen supernatural thing. And I'm just going to give you, this is a classic anime synopsis, which you're like, only anime. So after reaching the conclusion of her favorite manga, Fuko Izumo feels like she no longer has any reason to continue her existence. I mean, just like us. And for the past decade of her life, she's been afflicted by a condition that brings about extreme misfortune to anyone who touches her. This has led to the tragic deaths of many people close to her, including her parents. As she stands on a bridge waiting to drop in front of a train, a strange man tries to grab her, but her affliction causes the footing beneath him to break, dropping him in front of the train. Now, Fuko goes to locate his corpse, but it is regenerating, and he's coming back to life. So the man who she then starts calling Andy, again, a bit like David, David making Andy, is immortal, and he also wishes for the sweet release of death. Fuko reluctantly teams up with Andy to give him the best death possible. Kind of like Yuji wants an honorable death. But a mysterious organization lurks in the shadows, hoping to take advantage of the duo's strange abilities. This sounds off the wall, crazy, weird, bizarre. Kind of, it's from what I can gather from just looking at the trailer and stuff, kind of giving me Zom 100 vibes, not plot-wise, but I mean like the irreverent, kind of just ludicrous, like just sort of... And the comedy of Japan is always very over the top with its comedy and very kind of like slapsticky, just a bit silly and dumb, but also kind of edgy and hectic, which Japan does so well and uniquely so.
Because it's a comedy action, right?
Yes.
And it's Shonen Jump as well. So I remember reading, I was doing a bit of research in this one as well because it's also on my list. And I was like, what's this all about? Because I read the synopsis, I was like, is this going to be any good? It's really popular.
Hugely, yeah.
Shonen Jump manga adaptation. All I know is that the mangaka has been like, never did I think I would be, actually releasing on Shonen Jump. They have to do a bunch of censor bars all the time and stuff like that, like because they just are a bit more of a outlandish, edgy kind of mangaka. So I feel like this could come back to haunt you and be problematic as fuck.
Is this my Dead Mount Death play once again, which is also second season's airing for all of our sins again.
We're doing it.
I have no idea what that show's about anymore, but it's...
But it seems to be popular and I quite like the art style. I like character designs. Kind of got that, but yeah, it gave me Zom 100 vibes as well.
Yeah. Also, the art style's going to give me like My Hero Academia?
Yes, absolutely. It looked like what's the guy that hardens?
Kirishima.
It looked like that.
Yes, but that real My Hero sort of art style. So I don't know. Sounds interesting. Sounds pretty cool. Again, could be a fucking disaster, but I don't know. Gray, what do you got?
I've got Frieren. I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce that. Frieren Beyond Journey's End, or Susu no Frieren, produced by Madhouse, who
we've mentioned already.
The OG. Death Note, One Punch Man, like all that sort of stuff. And it's sort of... Frieren is the main character. She's an elf. It's set in a fantasy world.
But not an isekai.
Not an isekai.
No,
Yay!
I'm
We
so
did it, guys.
Rare. What? A fantasy, not an isekai? What the fuck?
It takes place 10 years after like this band of, adventurers kills the demon lord. Frieren actually comes back to the town where they all broke apart, went their separate ways, to find the leader of the party, Hemel, has passed away. And this sort of starts a chain reaction in her sort of belief or even like idea of what she is. Because she's an elf, she's practically immortal.
Right.
And the passage of time means very little to her. So when at the funeral she's asked like, "Oh, can you say some words about Hemel and what he meant to you?" And she was like, "Oh, I only knew him for 10 years. That's nothing." And
that they traveled together defeating this demon king for 10 years. So
and
for a human,
everyone's like, "What are you talking about? 10 years is a long time, but for an elf, it's not anything."
It's a month,
which kind of shakes her to her core, and she's like, "Oh, I feel actually like kind of separate from this world because of my long life." So it's kind of her journey, sort of tracing her footsteps they took as a party, trying to meet up with some of the other people that she was, spent 10 years of her life with, and just really trying to connect with the world that she's a part of rather than just floating through, trying to find a purpose for her life, even an immortal life.
That's interesting.
It looked beautiful. The trailer, I cried.
Oh, it's you're going to cry every episode.
So you've read the manga?
I've read a substantial chunk, yeah.
Okay.
It is beautiful. Like, it is a really good story.
I think it's just so interesting. It's such a good idea. And like,
Yeah,
it's like existential, like kind of slow paced, like character study of an elf dealing with like a bit of humanity. Like I was like, it looks fantastic. I number 3, on my hyped to watch this season.
Yeah, no, that's ticking every box.
Yeah, you're gonna have some feels.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. That sounds great.
Sounds unique as well. Like, I don't think I've
Does.
ever seen a story told like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's slow and it's thought provoking, and there will be a little bit of action in there because it's set in that type of world.
Fantasy
but
world, yeah.
yeah, it's going to be a good character study of like quite a unique character and premise.
Sort of meditation on grief from the sounds of things.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
So
Well, that's on the list, right up there.
Pretty excited for that.
Yeah, Frieren. Frieren. I'm not
Frieren
trying to pronounce it, but
after Journey's End.
after Journey's End.
And just, I love the idea of starting it like after an epic journey and like the towns and everything's in peace now.
After the deluge.
After it, it's great. Yeah. Also, Madhouse, wonderful production house. It looks fantastic.
Yep.
Definitely going to be a good one.
Very excited.
All right, now
next?
for my look, Pluto's up there, but I have to say this one I've been waiting for. And as I said earlier about My Happy Marriage, there is a bunch of material out there that is like aimed at like older kind of demographics or like of female-led stories that aren't necessarily shown in battle, that kind of thing. Or like high school romance. Like there's a couple of things that deal with more adult things. And this one is a light novel adaptation. And it's called The Apothecary Diaries.
Oh yeah.
And I have been so excited about this because all I've seen or read or bits I've seen from the light novel and things I've heard about this adaptation has just made me want to watch this so badly because I feel like the protagonist looks amazing and the art style, it's animated by Toho Animation Studio. So it's a huge animation studio, pretty much one of the main ones.
One Piece.
Yep.
Yep.
Huge. It's been adapted from a light novel series. We've got music by our good friend Kevin Penkin.
Friend of the podcast, Kevin
And
Penkin himself.
who we were lucky enough to interview. You can hear that interview on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. We've got a really great chat with him. Australian anime musical composer, very, very talented.
Very.
And the trailer I watched, I noted, I was like, this music is beautiful. And I didn't realize it was him until I went and looked at the credits. And I was like, that's our boy. That's
Son
Kev.
of a bitch. I knew it.
Good job, Kev. We're not that close. But thank you, Kevin.
Spoke to him once, went to the same,
We are best
drama
friends.
school.
The director is Noriho Nagunamu, who is the main director for Ancient Magus Bride. So that's why it looks like, I was like,
why it's
that
so
the
beautiful
look
looking.
about it is it's good. And I'll give you a synopsis about this one. In an imperial court in ancient China, it has been a few months since a 17-year-old girl known as Momo was kidnapped and forced to work as a low-level servant in the emperor's palace. Still, she manages to retain her curious and pragmatic spirit, planning to work until her years of servitude are over. One day, however, she catches wind of the fact that the emperor's two infants have fallen gravely ill. She decides to secretly take action, drawing on her experience as a pharmacist raised in the poor red light district. Despite Malmo's attempts to remain anonymous, she soon catches the eye of Jinshi, an influential eunuch who recognizes her talents. Malmo soon finds herself in the Emperor's inner court, where she gradually makes a name for herself by utilizing her knowledge and eccentric personality to solve various medical mysteries. So this is like House, but set in ancient China. You know what I mean? It's
not
giving
lupus.
eccentric like doctor procedural anime, but historical. And I
Just
could not
high
be
on
more happy.
opioids.
Yeah, that sounds...
Looks sick. And the
Yeah,
trailer,
yeah, it looks amazing.
It looks so beautiful, and I just can't wait.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a medical procedural anime, really. Like, there's a couple, I'm sure, but
How
this
did
is...
we get the vending machine one before that?
Dunno. Actually, I do know. That was also very beautiful.
Yep. This is the
Yeah.
thing. Anime's got everything you could ever dream of and more. And that's exciting. Yeah,
But that sounds
looks
good
great.
enough that I think, like, you might watch it.
Oh, I will watch it, yeah. And also just the art style just looks exquisite.
Good shit.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely going to be watching that. And now for something completely different. So this is called Under Ninja.
Oh,
It's
God.
already ticking boxes.
I already had this on my list as well.
Yes. So it's actually a seinen. Apparently.
Oh, right.
Yeah, action seinen by Tezuka Productions, who we've obviously mentioned a few times before. They're actually making this, not producing. A high school loner is given the part-time job of a lifetime as a modern-day ninja, tasked to perform international assassinations. I'm going to keep going, but come on. We're already
Pretty
here.
good.
After World War II, Allied Command in Japan developed a new agency to help manage terrorism and violence within the Pacific region. The agency was staffed with ninja and they were initially tasked to handle domestic affairs. Eventually, the program grew to having 20,000 ninja across a range of domestic and international affairs. This is now Kudo, the aforementioned Japanese high school student loner, who is now poised to be next line of defense against a potential influx in foreign assassins invading Tokyo.
I think I've read this.
Sign me up.
Yeah, right.
Ninja fights in modern Tokyo. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, the trailer also had just like an absolute banger of a song. And I was like, pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll
it
watch that.
could be a mad dud. Who knows?
Yeah, but
we're always up with these hype ups. We're always like, sometimes we're throwing them up, and sometimes we're airballing. Sometimes we're nothing but netting these things.
Could be
But
an
this
Escape the Infinity. We don't know.
We don't know.
I live in hope that it's the next Skate the Infinity.
We're always searching for the
We're
next
always
Skate
searching for the next Skate the Infinity.
We're always disappointed.
The one time Joel's disappointed me on this show when he was like, yeah, I watched it and I wasn't that into it. And I was like, get out of here.
You know what? Take it back. His
I
opinion
cast
means
me
nothing.
out.
Means nothing. Gerald, you're done.
So I didn't finish it. And I was like, God,
What
I
do you
can't speak to you
mean?
right now. But look, everyone has their off days. He must have been one of his, you know?
I'll give that a go.
I'm going to give that a go. Absolutely. I'm going to
Who
give
am
that
I
a go.
kidding?
That sounds hilariously ridiculous.
When I read the synopsis, I was like, lol, maybe I'll talk about this as like a joke. And then I watched the trailer and I was like, kind of love it. Kind of think it's my favorite show ever. And this like intense music came. Honestly, the song sold it. It was like in my head. I was like, what is that song? I was like, oh, it's from that trailer for the ninja show, for Undead Ninja. My favorite show that I've never seen.
The show of the season.
Yes.
Pluto, get out of here.
Sarah, no one
Critical
cares.
masterpiece. Get out of
No,
here.
a critical masterpiece from one of the greatest
Ninjas in the
emissaries.
streets. It's like
Honestly,
20,000 ninja up in here, dude.
it's like Ninja Turtles with people.
Thought. Who
Well,
thinks of these things?
Yeah.
Sam, I might have something to outdo you
Please.
based on title alone.
All right, let's hear it.
Hello.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here comes one of
I'm so
Charlie's.
intense. I don't know.
The 100 Girlfriends
Oh, fuck.
who really, really,
yep, yep,
really, really,
Yep.
really love you. And yep, that is 5 reallys that is in that title. And yep, of course.
Light novel? Adaptation?
I think it's a manga. It's a manga.
Oh, wow.
They just really, 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 really love him, I guess.
Really?
Okay. So this is, of course, giant red flag. I
Everywhere.
am almost certain that this will come back to haunt me.
Yep.
That I even brought this up on the show.
Cancelled.
Really
Like,
wholesome, and
it-
the relationship is so sweet between the 100 girls. Like,
We love a
heartwarming.
polyamorous king with 100 girlfriends. But guys, wait for it. Here's a synopsis. I couldn't not read it. You
No,
know,
you had
like
to.
this
You had
this
to.
shit.
That's true.
Like Anime Blinkers, I will not probably watch this because fuck this. But like it has to be heard to be believed. So, upon graduating middle school, Rentaro Eiju manages to confess to the girl he loves. Unfortunately, he gets rejected, making it his 100th rejection in a row. That's a lot. Like that, he needs to
In
calm
middle school?
down, dude.
Those are rookie numbers. You can pump those numbers up in my experience. Come on.
Having experienced heartbreak after heartbreak, he goes to a matchmaking shrine and prays with the hope of finally getting a girlfriend in high school. Suddenly, the god of the shrine appears, promising Rentaru that he will meet 100 soulmates in high school. Although skeptical at first, Rentaru quickly acknowledges the truth behind the god's words when 2 of his soulmates, Hikari Hanazono and Karani Inda, confess to him the very same day that they meet him. However, there was one detail that the god forgot to tell Rentaru. If any of his soulmates fail to get into a relationship with him, they will die. Now trapped in a matter of life and death, Rentaro decides to say to all of his soulmates,
What are you doing?
with a heart so big that it can be shared among 100 girlfriends, Rentaru makes the most out of his unanticipated high school life, with the Rentaru family growing even larger. I wish I'd never read that.
That's one of the worst
That's
ones
the
you've
worst.
brought on here, dude.
It's-
What the fuck was that?
Also, apparently I read
How
forward.
old is the person who wrote this?
I don't know, but I read forward because I was like, is this a parody? Apparently it is somewhat of a parody, but not enough. Like it still does it. But I was like, I can't imagine like, I think it's completed. I think he gets 100 girlfriends. Like I think that is
I hope so.
yeah. But
I'll be
apparently,
counting.
apparently it's like deeply, I mean, to no one's surprise, deeply problematic. He like dates people's mums and like grandmothers and like his cousin. Like there's no
Dude,
way.
what
Like
the
But anyway, I just had to read it because the title made me laugh. And you know what? Sue me because I'm just like, this is crazy. And funnily enough, you know what? Like, there's another returning show this season, which is, of course, Girlfriend. So Girlfriend, he's only got 3 girlfriends in that.
What a
He's going to up his
loser.
fucking
Now,
game.
those are rookie
There's
numbers.
100 girlfriends. But I did read... Oh no, I read something funny about. Oh yeah, apparently. So this actually made me laugh, and this could be wrong, but I'm not gonna ever read this to fucking cement it. So I guess comment in the comments if you were brave enough to read this one. But apparently, the concept is that the matchmaking god like just made a typo, and it wasn't meant to be 100. So then he has to like give it. I don't know.
I mean, like, that's almost funny if it
That's
wasn't.
almost funny.
But the consequences are too dire.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Anyway, so that's the worst thing I've ever read out loud on this podcast, and that
Holy
is
shit.
saying a lot.
That is
And I won't be watching it, but I just needed to say it
Needed
out
to,
loud. I need
yeah.
to tell someone. You know when you say something so horrific, you need to just
Yeah,
express it.
No, okay.
So there you go. That's I'm going to put this on the Charlie's list of yikes, and this
It's
is
on the yikes
this is number
list.
1. There's a couple more coming. So go.
Oh. The only other thing that kind of caught my eye was Overtake,
Okay.
Yeah.
which is a high school / Formula One racing anime.
Now we're talking Skate the Infinity numbers.
That's what I'm
too.
thinking.
We're feeling
That's
some
what I'm thinking.
skate
If the
vibes.
Matador Love appears in an F1 car, it's over.
I'm in. I'm
Absolutely.
all
Anime of the
in.
year.
No, okay, this is continue.
That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's all I need.
Well, speaking of
pretty much
racing
it, like,
anime,
yeah.
have you got any more?
I mean, I've just got the big
Oh, the
heavy hitting
returnings?
returners,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like we can.
We'll go those at the end.
Yeah, we'll do them at the end.
Speaking of racing, anime, a bit of a season for the races. We have got MF Ghost,
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
which
do.
I did think when I didn't know what it was, I was like, motherfucking Ghost, and it does not stand for that. So
Fucking Ghost
don't worry.
racing.
This is a sequel to Initial D.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's a futuristic sequel. So we've got year 2020X. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
2010? What? It's a while
So
away,
the
I
power
guess.
of 10.
Self-driving electric cars have replaced internal combustion engine-based cars, becoming ubiquitous in Japan. However, a racing circuit known as MFG, which employs traditional internal combustion cars, is garnering popularity worldwide. Kanata Livington, a 19-year-old Japanese-British racer, comes to Japan after graduating from a top racing school in the United Kingdom to take part in the MFG and to find his missing father, Ken Katagiri. Kanata moves to the home of his late mother's friends, Mr. and Mrs. Seiyonji, and enters the race under his father's surname, borrowing a Toyota 86 from Agata, the couple's family friend. Despite the overwhelming disadvantages in specs, Kanata makes it to the top 15 while racing top-tier supercars, demonstrating his phenomenal skills.
yeah, I mean,
Takumi Fujiwara, the legendary downhill and rally racer, turns out to be Kanata's trainer. MFG employees who are familiar with Fujiwara and former racers from the same generation begin to notice Kanata. A new whirlwind is about to start to set off at MFG. So obviously full of Easter eggs, full of characters returning from Initial D, full of, a 1986 car, like full of that kind of thing. If you're an Initial D fan, this sounds like one you don't want to miss.
nostalgia porn.
This just sounds like an anime made by like fossil fuel companies.
Yeah.
Electric
Sponsored by-
cars are taking over. We need the anime kids to get fucking combustion.
The Exxon Mobil.
yeah,
Sponsored by
ExxonMobil.
Productions Studio Exxon Mobil. But no, look, I reckon that's gonna be sick.
That's gonna be sick.
That's
That
gonna be
sounds so sick as well.
That
I was
sounds
like,
sick,
there's
dude.
a driving school.
Yeah, dude, driving school. I mean, enough. You had me at like the first 2 sentences. Like,
You're like,
yes,
yeah, you'd love it. It
dude.
sounds like fucking Megalobox.
Yeah,
but with
Megalobox
initial
cars.
D.
With cars,
you know, like
dude.
it sounds
Yeah, I
sick.
mean, that
It
sounds.
actually, honestly, it is that because it's taking a classic sport anime and bringing it to
actually-
the. It actually genuinely is Megalobox.
That's actually a very
but with
good
initial
analogy.
D.
Yeah, 100%. That's
See, sometimes I do my research.
sometimes bring the thunder.
And sometimes I do my research. Wait for this next one. You're going to regret me ever doing research. This one, I just really liked the title. It is My New Boss is Goofy.
I did see that one.
And I went, all right. And honestly, it sounds super wholesome. So this workplace comedy story follows a 26-year-old office worker named Momose. He recently changed jobs after his previous boss harassed him. Not good. He's worried his new boss will also use power harassment to make his life miserable. Momose is trying to hide his anxious stomach when he first meets his new boss, Shirosaki. However, he's surprised to find his new boss is such a natural airhead that he eliminates all of Momose's anxiety. Sounds really wholesome. And
That doesn't sound so bad.
He sounds goofy. Also, it's an office place. There's another, I was
Hijinks.
like, bit of a win for the adults here. Goofy.
Yes.
I just love that title. I was like, my new boss's
That
movie.
actually sounds really funny.
All right, those are the main ones that I had written down. We've got Fully Coolly Shoegaze is coming out as well. So one of the reboots of the Fully Coolly franchise, which
Is there two?
yeah, was there grunge as well?
Yeah.
Or there was like a couple that came out a couple of years ago as well. I haven't been keeping up. Fully Coolly was one of my OG animes, like gateway. We need to talk about this. We need to do a music one.
We do, yeah. Fully Coolly.
Not that it counts as music. I mean, it's just got to
kind of, yeah.
There's a really great band that does all the music for it. But this one, like I watched the trailer and it's giving some of the essence of the Fully Coolly we all love and know, but I just don't care about it for some reason.
yeah,
It's
none of the reboots
it's
have
not
worked.
scratching my nostalgia itch to watch it. I think I just really like where it existed in its spot in the original. There's another one that I think looks good, but this might end up being my villain origin story. No, as in end up being that. Remember I was so excited about Sweet Home? I was like, not Sweet Home. That's
Home Hero.
My Home Hero. And it turned out to be shit. This one's called Migi To Dali. And it looks really like vague. The synopsis is the stork brought an angel into the lives of a childless middle-aged couple. His parents are kind, their house is luxurious, and the meals are delicious. But to continue to revel in this happiness, Hitori must conceal a certain fact from his family. And what it is, I'll just freaking say, like, honestly, skip 1 minute if you don't want spoilers, but you can see from the artwork, it's based on quite a unique, not super popular, quite a niche manga that people are fans of. So there's like a small but vocal fan base. And
Dozens of us.
it's basically the artwork, you see like two twin boys. And what it is they're pretending to be one person to get like revenge on their mother who's been killed. So it's like a thriller, sort of giving monsters
Revenge for their mother.
Yeah, who's been killed. So they're like been adopted into this new family, but as one person. So like,
It's like the Prestige.
yes,
Yeah.
honestly, the Prestige, but
Yeah.
with like evil child twins.
Revenge.
Yeah.
crazed
So
twins.
this could be terrible, but I am going to give it a watch because I really like the art style of the manga.
Okay.
And there's a certain group that are like, this is going to be freaking great. And apparently it's very suspenseful, but I've been burnt before.
Yeah, My Home Hero was bad in the end.
It was one of the worst things ever. And
was a
I
stinker.
embarrassed myself thoroughly. So also we should mention that at the time of, and also by the time this episode releases, we haven't watched any of these. This is literally
Yeah,
us
this
going
is
by just
early.
looking and being like, what do we think? What's hitting us with the vibe? Anyway, those are my list. Sam, do you want to get on
That's
to the
cracking.
heavy hitters?
Well, we've got, of course, the Undisputed King is returning for the final time.
Tokyo Revengers.
Tokyo
It's back,
Revengers.
baby.
Oh, Attack on Titan is coming back for what we're led to believe is the final time.
It ain't
And
gonna be.
It should. This should be the final time. They're doing 90-minute episodes, I believe, towards the very end as well. This will be it.
Well, there's 2 episodes.
Yeah. Two movie length,
two-
2 90-minute episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We will do a very special episode when this ends because, as I have proclaimed it, it is indeed in the West, especially the Undisputed King, one of the undisputed kings of anime that we've seen in the last decade and a half. Absolutely insane. Now, obviously, I have been. If you followed this podcast, you've obviously followed my undulating journey with Attack on Titan because I love it so much, and of course, without spoiling anything, and is controversial. And we will be talking about that after this season ends.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see like the ending of such a huge thing. It's been
Yes.
with us for so many years. It's been like the definitive anime of this
modern
decade
generation, yeah.
and this modern generation.
Absolutely.
And to see it like end, it feels like we are here for a big moment.
We are.
And we were here, and it feels kind of like, you know, like when Naruto and
Yes.
Bleach and stuff ended. Well, Bleach is still
Mangas,
going.
yeah.
Mangas. Well, I mean, Naruto anime also ended.
yes.
I feel like, you know, it felt a little bit different because it was so long. I don't know. I feel like I started Attack on Titan as a fucking adult, you know, like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
seeing it end, and I don't know. I'm kind of. It's a bit of a cultural moment.
It is. You know, it was when the manga ended too, and it's going to be fascinating to watch because I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewatch all the
Whole
last
thing?
seasons. I might rewatch the whole thing with Grace, my partner.
Yeah.
I think it might be a good time to do it. Just like let's start it and just finish. You know,
Just go straight
burst
through.
through. I'm really excited to do that, but I'll miss it terribly. You know, when it's gone. But there will be a lot to talk about. So watch this space. We'll be coming back to that. But the Undisputed King's coming back for the final time, and you're right, it's going to be a cultural moment for us all. It's a big deal that it's ending. The other one coming back is Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone season 3, part 2. Didn't leave on much of a cliffhanger the last time around, but I'm really enjoying it. I've spoken about the show a bunch of times on the show. Again, I can't decide if it's the smartest dumb show or the dumbest smart show that I've ever seen. All about science, but also very stylized, very anime. Like these character designs are obscenely over the top. It is a lot of fun. It's like rebuilding the new world through science. And Senku's the most ridiculously intelligent person. There's no way anyone's brain could hold that much information, even the best of the best. And he's a high school student. But anyway, that's my point. It's a bit of a smart dumb show or a dumb smart show, but it's a lot of fun. This last arc is going to be pretty hectic, going to be pretty epic, I think. Kind of war vibes, like Stone Wars. Not like the second season, which was entitled Stone Wars, but without spoiling anything, some shit's about to pop off. And I think if you have watched Dr. Stone, this is going to be a really good little bit. And if you haven't, strongly suggest Dr. Stone. Again, might not be for you. Fair enough. It's not for everybody. But for me, I find it a really fun, but I think you got to be reasonably into anime to get it.
Also, Spy Family coming back.
Yes,
Another big
indeed.
hitter.
Another big, heavy hitter.
I think I'm ready for Spy Family. I think I got a bit over it. But I think I'm ready for it again. You know, I think I miss it, my little cutesy,
Wholesome.
fun, wholesome. I know I'm always going to have a chuckle. I know I'm going to see some good animation. I know I'm going to have a crush on Lloyd. You know, all of that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that returning, because I think it was like a double core, right?
It was a double core the
I
first
was
time.
just sort of like, it started so hype, it was so great, and then it just kind of was a bit samey. I think there's been enough time now that I'm here, you know, I'm ready to see what happens. So I am looking forward to that, and it will be added to my watch list.
I'll definitely be picking it back up again, but I actually dropped it towards the very end. I didn't actually finish it. I actually need to go back and finish it because
I read the manga in the end.
I also found that when they focused too heavily on Anya, it actually got a bit boring. Like Anya's a
Great supporting character.
Great supporting character, but when she's the protagonist, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
It's too cutesy. It's too, I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't what I...
Although I was
this isn't
sort
a
of...
spy drama. Like, so don't get me wrong, Anya's an excellent character, but like for me, that's when I started to fall off it. You know, towards the end when it was. I mean, obviously the dog's the best.
Bond.
We all love Bond, but yeah, I will catch up. I've seen only 3 or 4 episodes off finishing the last season, but I will finish them and then watch it because great show.
I'm looking forward to whatever theme they have. Also, OPs and themes of this season will be good. We know that the ninja one's going to be outstanding based on that trailer.
Already.
Gonna be good.
What is Attack on Titan going to be?
Oh, I mean, that's
that is
the real one.
question, because that we all know they're the biggest bangers ever. God damn.
Absolutely. And I'm going to miss them.
I'm going to miss them
I'm
terribly.
going to miss it when it's gone. You know, I'm going to feel a bit sad when it ends.
Absolutely.
It's just always been, 4 years away or
Yes.
Yeah, and I know it has already ended. Sorry, manga readers. I know I've been holding out because I do love the production of Attack on Titan. The OP, the music, the voice acting. I think it is one of the best adapted animes that mangas we've ever had.
Agreed.
So I tried to save it for myself to watch in anime form. Otherwise, I would have totally read the manga. I nearly broke in that freaking 4-year gap that we have between 1 and 2.
Yeah, that got me.
But I was like, nah.
Also put Studio Wit on the map.
Yeah.
Literally their first show. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited, honestly.
This is a good season coming up. This is exciting.
What's your top pick?
I mean, AOT obviously is for so many different reasons. It's obviously going to be the hypest one. But from what we heard today, I think...
100 Girlfriends?
100 Girlfriends. Weirdly enough, I think the Initial D follow-up actually sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, I thought you'd love that.
I'm low-key kind of really excited about that.
Motherfucking Ghost.
Yeah, motherfucking Ghost.
Hell yeah.
That's actually kind of my low-key. At this point, again, we've seen none of these. This is our initial, just our vibes on what we've been reading, what the community's talking about. I'm going to get in there early and probably proven horribly wrong. MF Ghost.
We've been waiting for racing anime to really... We actually looked at doing an episode on racing anime, right?
Yeah.
And then one of the things we were just like, well, it's Initial D, and then there just hasn't been much.
Yeah.
So
Speed Racer.
Speed Racer, Initial, but isn't any kind of modern
Wacky
anime.
Racer. Not really anime, but we can do
I was like, can you count Air Gear as a racing anime or Skate the Infinity or like there's like renditions, but like
Infinity probably can.
Skate the Infinity Racing.
Air Gear's more of
Sure,
a racing
yeah.
anime than that. Do you guys know what Air Gear is?
Air Gear, haven't seen it.
What? Oh wow, that's the early 2000s throwback. It's like rollerblading but with air. Like it's like a modern thing. It's like you fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
It sounds like
That does ring a troubling
Air
bell.
Gear. Next week,
episode
Air
on Gateway
Gear.
to Anime.
The Undisputed King.
Undisputed King.
Oh, you want some protagonist hair? That show really.
Oh, yeah?
Honestly, you should watch Air. I think you would love Air Gear.
I'm gonna vote
It's
for
like
a new one.
It's real. It's like almost like Beyblade territory though. It's like there. It sits there.
Sam's next YouTube video. Why MF Ghost and Airblades are the greatest undisputed kings.
MF Ghost would be good. That's your
hour long.
pick. Okay.
All right, that's honestly
What's
that's my
his
little
space?
low key.
Yeah.
one.
What's
What do
your
you
pick?
reckon?
I'll go Freya.
Yeah.
That does
Frieren.
also
I just want to feel
Frieren.
something again.
that also actually does sound really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Apothecary.
Steve-
Oh,
Apothecary?
Pluto. What am I talking about?
Yeah, Pluto's
If
probably
I'm
going
not
to be.
counting Pluto, which if you are interested in learning more about Pluto, please follow the link. We
Yes,
talk about it
indeed.
in detail, and it is a fantastic manga
Yeah,
that
I'm actually-
deserves all the attention it's about to get. So very exciting stuff. We're super excited.
Absolutely. Look, you know what? Put MF Ghost in the bin. Pluto's obviously the number one.
Get out of here,
Get out of
Ghost.
here.
Ghost.
No, we're not even going to watch that dumb show.
Motherfucking
But
ghosts.
Apothecary for me because I've
Pluto
got
for sure.
I've got to rep it. You know.
Yeah. I
It
said
better
the
not
big
suck.
ones, yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. Big time. Well, really exciting season. It's been a while since I've been really excited for a season, actually. A lot of them have sort of been like, yeah,
Since
it's
the
some
last
good
season.
stuff. And
It's been a whole season.
The whole
yeah,
season.
the last season, I mean, when we previewed, I was like, yeah, good. You know, like, you know, we've got a B minus, not, you know, B minus, not bad. But I think this one could be talking A's. We could be talking a strong A here. So very exciting times. Looking forward to jumping into it. We will, of course, come back with our mid-season check-in in 6 or 7
Where
weeks.
we all have to like make apologies.
make apologies for our
Apologise.
dreadful calls and
And obviously we were going to miss something huge. We
always
always
do.
And I love, that's what I love about it. I love about
so
like,
many.
when you see that, when you look at my anime list or whatever you look at, Live Corner or whatever it is,
Yeah.
when you get what it is, it's so overwhelming that of course you're going to miss it. And some of the fun is just finding like hidden gems. My favorite
There
part.
is a detective anime that's coming out that I completely forgot about.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
I think that'll be okay, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
mid-season.
and that
mid-season,
one,
yeah.
I know what that is because I was looking at it as well, and it's sort of giving like it's like comedy detective
Yeah.
sort of.
reclusive,
Yeah.
shut in.
Oh, no, I did see
Detective.
that one. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Interesting.
Who knows?
Who knows? Again, this is the fun part about this episode that we do, the way we do these now. But of course, the mid-season check-in is really when we start to, you know.
Well,
get
no,
into the
we've
nuts and
seen,
bolts.
you know, we've seen
been
like
watching 6 or
5
7
or
weeks
6
of it, or 5
episodes.
weeks, yeah. So we'll be back for that. But like, if there's anything that we've missed or anything you're really excited about, hit us up in the comments, particularly on Instagram and YouTube. That's usually where we hang out for the comments and love to read them, love hearing, you know, DM us. It's always great
If
to
you
chat
want
to you
us to
all.
watch something, just tell us and we'll
Tell
watch
us, we'll watch it. We always
And
do
I'll tell
link
you
click.
about
That's
it.
how I watch link click. So, and thank you again for that. So, you know, hit us up and thank you so much. And again, as I just said, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also find us on our website, gatewaytoanime.com. If you really like what we do, you can, of course, find us on Patreon. We're going to be got a Discord server there, which you get access to. We got like special little releases we're going to be doing. And, you know, this is a really good old time. Obviously a small operation, so any little bit helps and we really appreciate it. All right, well, thank you all. We'll see you all next time. Have a good one.